You can proceed.
Thank you so much, Your Honor. Would I just run through a timeline? Would that work?
Sure.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. My name is Evelyn Ansari, and I'm here to present my case regarding my car being towed despite having paid for parking at Victory Apartments on Bircham. Um, my boyfriend lives at these apartments, and he's available if you would like to speak to him as my witness as well. On January 30th, 2026, I paid for 24-hour parking at the visitor parking spots at the Victory Apartments on Bircham. I paid $10 and it was paid at 12:03 a.m. I have a receipt of the payment and I paid for parking multiple times there and it's labeled visitor parking. The next morning we found my car was missing and called Victory Apartments management. They said they couldn't do much on their end, so then we ended up calling the towing company and we found my car through their website. They were very kind over the phone as well as when we went in person when I made arrangements to go get the car the same morning. Um, I paid $390.50 for the tow fee to retrieve my car. And then on the receipt, it showed that my car had been towed at 12:58 to 1:35 a.m., which was after I had paid the $10 fee for the 24-hour parking. So then we contacted Victory Apartments, the community manager again, and explained to them that I had proof of payment when the car was towed. And their response via email was that the towing company had come through the lot and checked the parking, and that I didn't have a valid permit at 11:02 p.m. And he stated that they would not reimburse the towing fee. I did park there previously for a period of time, and it was like I didn't pay for parking at that time. But when we left around the same time and came back at 12 when I paid for parking, there was no warning or ticket on my car. Um, and then the car was towed after I paid. And then we contacted H&H Towing where they explained that they were notified by Victory Apartments that they would come and tow the reported car, and they don't mark the cars or check it if like the fees are paid before they tow. Um, so they informed me that they towed 5 cars that night according to like what Victory Apartments told them to do. And so after speaking with both Victory and H&H, we were kind of confused on like who to talk to. So, and like all that.
Well,
Um,
that's fine. You have the right people here. So,
okay. And then we called the non-emergency line of the East Lansing Police Department, and which they can't provide legal service. So I contacted the Student Legal Services for Michigan State, which is where I go. And then the attorney and lawyer at Student Legal Services recommended that I file a petition regarding the impoundment of my motor vehicle and request a court hearing. And this overall, I just don't believe my car should have been towed and requesting reimbursement for the tow fee of $390.50 and then the court costs of $70.
okay.
Thank
So,
you so much.
you're welcome, Ms. Ansari. So, Ms. Ansari, I'm going to administer an oath to you. Will you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes,
And is everything that you just informed the court on the record, is that all true and accurate?
yes.
And Ms. Ansari, you mentioned having, a receipt, or is there anything that you would like to show the court in terms of documentation?
I have some pulled up on my computer if you,
Do you know how to share screen?
I believe so. Oh, wait. Okay. Can you guys see this?
The court can see it. Mr. Brookover, Mr. Gardner, are you able to see the screen? It looks like it's an impound receipt.
Yes,
Yes.
Okay.
this was
Okay, thank
also
you very much.
attached as Exhibit B.
It was, thank you. So, Ms. Ansari,
Hmm.
which part of this document did you want the court to take notice of?
The time of the dispatch and then the
Okay,
time completed, which is what I just talked about. So that's the 12:58 a.m. and then the
the
1:35.
one, okay, thank you very much. And
And
the court
then
notes that.
I do have these are like the emails and everything. And then this is when I paid for parking, so this was at 10 or 12:03 a.m.
Okay,
Under
and Mr.
app.
Gardner, Mr. Brookover, are you able to see this? It looks like it's a receipt from an app called Park M.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Gardner, can you see that as well?
I can. I don't know if the court is having similar difficulty, but it's quite small in terms
It's
of
small.
one
Could you,
where,
there we go. That's helpful. Thank you, Ms. Ansari. Is that better, Mr. Gardner?
yes.
And I think that the relevant information that Ms. Ansari wanted the court to take note of was that it was, well, it says expires January 31st,
Yeah, so
2026.
it was like the 24-hour parking, Your Honor.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your testimony is that you paid on 12:03 a.m. on the 30th, and it was a 24-hour parking that would have expired the next day at the same time.
Yes.
Okay. Very good. Anything else that you would like the court to know or consider, Ms. Ansari?
That's about it. These are the same thing, so they're just like the emailed receipt and then the text receipt. So they're
Okay,
like the
could
same.
you bump that one up, please? That says
Yeah.
Park M receipt. And Ms. Ansari, I see an effective 1/30/26 at 12:03 a.m. expires 1/31/26 at 12:03 a.m. That's what you were just testifying to
Yeah.
about the 24-hour parking.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Gardner, Mr. Brookover, is there anything else you would like to see larger or scroll down about this document, this Park M receipt?
No, thank you, Your Honor, not me.
Okay,
No.
Mr. Gardner?
Ideally, moving forward, we'd receive copies of these, Your Honor.
Absolutely. Very good. So, Ms. Ansari, you would be able to provide copies of these documents to the respondents?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. And unless there's anything else, you could stop your share screen. And it sounds like Ms. Ansari is now completed her proofs. Mr. Gardner, I'll begin with you.
Yes, very briefly, Your Honor. Good morning, and good morning, Ms. Ansari. We'll rely on our briefing, which attached exhibits in advance of the hearing, as is required. To the extent that the court is persuaded by what the court has just been shown, unverified, it is my belief and understanding that the spot that Ms. Ansari was in, similar to the previous time where she wasn't towed when she didn't have a permit, was not a spot that was available to her. That is not a spot that you can buy a 24-hour pass for. Those are resident spots. And so similar to the other five, none of whom have come before this court, which is not an issue, no one wants to be towed, but you can't park in a spot that you're not allowed to park in. And it's noticed at the entry and it's noticed on the spot itself. So while I think $390 and change is a lot of money, it happens. And I don't think ill of Ms. Ansari in any way, shape, or form, but I think the process was followed. And moving forward, I would encourage Ms. Ansari to park in a spot that is permitted for 24-hour parking, or walk over from her address if she so chooses, but not park in someone else's spot. I'm happy to answer any questions the court has for me.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Gardner. And the court has received, and Ms. Ansari, you should have as well. There was a filing, it's entitled Respondent Champion MSU Properties Motion for Summary, and there are exhibits attached. Ms. Ansari, you have that document and those exhibits, I trust.
Is it these, Your Honor? Or no?
Can you lift it up a little bit? I can't see. It looks like that's H&H, so that's from Mr. Brookover. There was another, it would start with Respondent Champion. So what I'm interested in is I wanted Mr. Gardner to highlight, Mr. Gardner, what I'm hearing from you is that you are saying that regardless of whether Ms. Ansari, with new evidence that I understand you are just receiving today, is saying that she validly paid for a 24-hour visitor parking pass, the spot where she was parked was not eligible for a visitor parking pass. Is that what you're telling the court?
And as an officer of the court, that's my understanding. Our community managers with Judge Babcock at the moment.
Okay.
So I just, in not being able to anticipate what the argument would be today beyond the petition, but that is my understanding. And
Okay.
I don't believe that the receipt itself, if verified, contradicts that. I think Exhibit A speaks for itself.
Okay. And so Mr. Gardner, you would need, it sounds like today, to be able to and I, will note the burden is on you, Mr. Gardner, by a preponderance. That's what the statute says.
And I understand that, Your Honor, and I don't want to talk over the court, but it's a preponderance given the petition. The only thing that was filed with the petition is 390 and change. I mean, none of this was filed with the petition, so it's difficult to respond to something that you're not given in advance.
Absolutely. And the court would, of course, give you time to verify what has been presented here today and move forward. I just need to know, are you able to do that today and show to the court through testimony or documentary evidence that the parking spot where she was parked was not a spot where visitor parking was permitted?
I think so, whether it's an affidavit or if the court wanted to give a brief second call, I could try and loop in the community manager. We may need, I don't know, 15 minutes or so.
And that is perfectly fine. I just want to know if you're ready right now. So that's what we're going to sort of put your presentation. And I would like to move on to Mr. Brookover and H&H. Ms. Ansari, Mr. Brookover and H&H, I'm going to let them respond now, but I just want to see, I didn't hear anything from you, certainly on the face of your petition, but anything that you added here today that is contesting the reasonableness of the towing and storage fees, and or that somehow Mr. Brookover's client, H&H, didn't comply with the statute in any way. Are you saying either of those things, Ms. Ansari?
Your Honor, H&H did their job and I don't have a problem with the towing fee at all.
Okay, so with that, Mr. Brookover, what would you like the court to know and do?
I'd ask you to dismiss the case with prejudice against us.
Okay.
Please.
And the court will grant that request. Ms. Ansari, H&H, from the face of your petition and everything that I've heard today, there's nothing to say that these towing and storage fees were unreasonable in any way, or that H&H did not comply with their statutory duties under the law. So the court finds that H&H acted properly and fully complied with the law, and their request for dismissal is granted. So Mr. Brookover, and thank you to H&H, you are hereby dismissed. There'll be ultimately there'll be an order for both parties, but as to you, that order will reflect that the fees were reasonable and that
She showed up to court with receipts, literally, a parking app receipt, a tow receipt, and a clear timeline. Evelyn Ansari had paid $10 for 24-hour visitor parking at Victory East Lansing. Her car was towed anyway. She paid $390.50 to get it back, then filed a petition with the court to get that money returned. On the surface, it looked like an open and shut case in her favor. But the hearing revealed something she hadn't accounted for. The towing company doesn't check for passes when they arrive. They check the lot's digital system before they ever pull up. At 11:02 p.m. on January 29th, H&H Towing searched her license plate. No valid permit. Tow requested. Her parking pass wasn't purchased until 12:03 a.m. the next morning. Over an hour after that tow was already initiated. And the community manager testified under oath that this isn't unusual. People have learned to watch whether towing comes through the lot before deciding to buy a pass. By the time Ansari paid, the system had already flagged her vehicle. The law doesn't leave room for timing gaps like that. Judge Green's ruling was methodical and direct. The property posted proper notice. The towing company followed procedure. The law is clear. A vehicle parked on private property without a valid permit is deemed abandoned, and the property owner has every right to have it towed. No refund. Case closed. It's easy to feel for Ansari. She clearly wasn't trying to get away with anything. But the law doesn't run on intentions. It runs on timestamps. And in this case, the timestamps told the whole story. A 1-hour window made the difference between getting her money back and losing it entirely. If you found this case as eye-opening as we did, hit that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more real courtroom breakdowns. Because justice never gets old.